All right, good evening, everybody. This is the Carver Zoning Board of Appeals. We are meeting in Room 1 this evening. It is June 25th, 2026, and it's about 6:35 p.m. As is our custom, the first thing that we do is handle some administrative matters before we get into the actual cases that are before us this evening. So, first order of business will be to approve the meeting minutes of May 27, 2026, which was our previous meeting. Does everybody have a copy of the draft minutes, which I circulated in advance of tonight's meeting?
Yes.
Does anyone have any changes, amendments, or modifications they'd like to make?
Nope.
No.
All right, so do I hear a motion?
Motion to accept the minutes
As written.
as written.
Second.
For April 9th.
Second.
For May 27th.
May 27th. Yeah.
And Mr. Poirier seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so those meeting minutes are adopted and become part of the official record. Next, we have one public hearing which had appeared on our agenda for this evening. That was public hearing case number 60-6-0R, the petitioner being Build X LLC. Now, as I recall, the vice chair recused himself from this particular case. Is that true?
That's correct.
All right, so whatever action we take tonight, you're not going to be voting. However, we have received communication from the petitioner in this case that it wishes to withdraw its request for relief because they have changed their building plan. And as a result of changing their building plan, they no longer require any relief from this board, but for the fact that they are now asking to withdraw without prejudice, meaning that should they decide that they want to refile, they would be allowed to do that. Now, I'm not quite sure why they want that. I'm just speaking for myself now. If they're going to go ahead and build and not need any relief from this board, I'm not sure why we should keep this open, but I throw that open for discussion to you folks. What do you want to do? Withdraw with prejudice or without?
Without.
Without, just in case something happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we don't have to start
Okay.
over.
Anybody else want to say anything? No? All right, so do I hear a motion to allow the withdrawal on this case number 60-6-0R, the petitioner being Build X LLC? Do I hear a motion to allow withdrawal without prejudice?
I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're done with that. Now, we have two other matters, one of which is a new one, and I'm going to get to that one straight away. That one is public hearing case number 117-11-KR, and I asked the vice chair of the board to read that notice into the record, please.
Okay, for case 117-11-KR, petitioner John Spinetto. A petition was filed seeking a dimensional variance pursuant to Article 290-2-3.2 and 290-5-2.2B of the Carver zoning bylaw for property located at 10 Bisbee Drive in Carver, Mass. Assessors Map 117, Lot 11-K-R, so as to construct a 30 by 30 accessory dwelling unit in the residential agricultural district. A variance of approximately 8.4 feet is needed due to the fact that the east side of the subject property has a setback of only 21.6 feet. 30 feet is required.
Very good. Now, Ms. Dahl, do you have anything you want to say for the record?
I guess just for the record, I should say that I do know the Spinettos. Our children grew up together. But I don't see any reason why I can't make a fair vote on what they're looking for.
So you don't feel as if you have a
Any
partiality
bias or
one way or
anything.
the other?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I have to say, again, for the record, that we live in a small town, and we frequently encounter people in our personal lives that sometimes then we encounter in our semi-professional lives up here. And if we were to recuse ourselves every time we happen to just know someone, hello, how are you, seeing them in the post office or the grocery store, it would be difficult to attain a quorum. So I understand what you're saying, and if you feel as if you are able to render a fair and impartial decision, then the chair is fine with that. Does
Okay.
anyone have any concerns about the disclosure that Ms. Dahl just made? Mr. Poirier, you have any concerns?
I have known Ms. Dahl to be impartial in all situations, Chair.
Okay. And
Thank
the
you.
gentleman to my right?
No concerns.
No, no issues.
Okay. So let's proceed. Is Mr. Spinetto here?
Yes.
Could you approach the microphone? And I see that you are sitting with a nice young lady. Are you with Mr. Spinetto?
Yes.
Would you like to come and accompany him? Thank you. So you are John Spinetto,
I am.
and you are
Camille Spinetta.
Camille Spinetto. And Mrs. Spinetto, can you tell the board, please, a little bit about what it is that you'd like to do?
Requesting relief for the zoning laws to construct approximately 900 square foot ADU attached to my existing home. My wife and I plan to move into that, and my son and his growing family will move into our existing home. This will ensure that my wife and I can live out the rest of our lives on the property that we've brought our children up for the last 27 years. And we've raised our children there. And my son is excited about bringing his soon-to-be 3 children and bringing them up in the town that he grew up in the house that he grew up in.
Are you excited about that, too?
Yes, because we'll have 3 of our grandchildren directly right next door to us, so it'll be pretty cool.
Okay.
The location on our property is essentially the only place on our property that we can do this,
Why do you say that?
due to the fact that there's an Eversource easement in the back of the house with the power lines. And on the left side of the house, there's a chimney to deal with, and quite frankly, we'll run into the same 30-foot setback on that side. So basically, it's the only place I can go. This project will be great for my family. My son will get a larger home for his family. He travels quite a bit for his job, so we'll be able to help his wife out. We'll have our grandchildren right next door. And then, later on in life, when my wife and I get a little on in years, we have help right next door. So we plan that we'll be able to spend the rest of our life on this, in our house.
All done?
All done.
Mrs. Spinetto, would you like to say anything?
I'm shaking like a leaf. He does a really good job. But I'm very, very excited to live next door to my grandkids.
Okay, we review all of these cases in advance of the evening that we have our hearing. Don't shake like a leaf, you're fine. So we come to these hearings with a familiarity, a certain familiarity with regard to the case. We don't speak to each other in advance of the case. We don't make preliminary decisions behind your back, but we review all the paperwork individually. And then we get together collectively and we render a judgment. So let me tell you what I gleaned from the records, and you tell me if I have this right, okay? Your property is at 10 Bisbee Drive, yes?
Yes.
And this is going to be an attached accessory dwelling. We
Yes.
had one recently that was detached. This is an attached.
Yes.
And you've lived in this home since roughly 1998, is that
Yes.
true? And you've already explained eloquently that you want to have your son and his family move in to the primary residence, and you're going to move into the ADU, which is going to be constructed. Now, the side setback to the east of the property is just that 21.6 feet, as you heard the vice chair read into the record. So you know that 30 feet is required. You're short, what's that,
8.4.
8.4. See, he's got a mind like a steel trap. 8.4. And you have trees on the east side of the lot,
Yes,
down the lot line,
yes,
which separates your property from the neighbor. Is that true?
yes.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm just kind of summarizing based upon what I read from your submissions. So you think that that tree line will be sufficient to ensure privacy between your property and that of your neighbor?
And I have no problem putting a fence up there if that's.
Is the tree line sufficient to ensure property?
Sufficient, I have.
Can you see your neighbor's house through that tree line?
I'm sorry?
Can you see your neighbor's house through that tree line?
In the wintertime, you can, yeah, you can, actually, yeah.
Can you see it now that it's all leafed out?
Yes,
Okay. And you've indicated as well that the location of the ADU cannot be adjusted on the lot because you have lack of space on the west side. And is that where the power line easement is, on the left side?
no, the power line's in the back.
Where is the septic system? Is that also in the rear?
Yes,
Okay.
In the paperwork, Mr. Chair, it indicated that if it was on the other side, he'd be requiring the same relief regardless of which side of the house that's going to be attached.
Is that true, Mr. Spinetto?
I'm sorry?
Speak up, Mr. Poirier. He's having trouble hearing.
That you require the same relief even if you were attaching it to the opposite side of the house, is that correct?
It's my family, because my house is pretty much directly in the middle
Yep.
of the east and west side of that lot.
I'm not sure you answered Mr. Poirier's question. Are you going to be short on both sides?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Poirier. Okay. That's what I gleaned from the paperwork. What do you have, Ms. Dahl?
Just a couple questions. So you want to do 30 by 30. Are you opposed to making the front shorter and then going back further? Would that work?
I
So you
don't
could
think I-
gain some footage, basically, so you wouldn't have to ask for so much on that right-hand side?
The easement will allow me to go back and pretty much, if you.
So that dotted line is that easement that you really
right,
can't
if you
go
look- If you
beyond?
look at the plot plan that on the surveyor did,
Mm-hmm.
the easement goes right up, almost right up to the,
To the back of where
To the
you're
back of the
proposed and where the back of the house
Yeah.
is now?
Close.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I
Do
thought.
you have any plans you would like to show us? I see some rolled up papers in front of you.
these are a full set of plans if you.
Yeah, we like show and tell, so come on up.
Do you have the picture that Jake did too? We didn't do this, I don't know nothing about AI.
See, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Right after.
Yep.
Potentially.
AI rendition that my son did. That's what it's gonna look like. This is the new addition, this is the existing house. AI is a wonderful.
Can you believe that?
All right.
I can't.
We can figure this out. You can go back and sit. So give us a couple of minutes to take a look at this. lot of brain power up on this side of the table. Less so on this side, right?
That's,
Mr. Porter?
I would agree with that wholeheartedly,
Does he
yes.
have, did you get to see the picture yet? Should I bring it down?
You want to show them?
Go ahead, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, he saw it.
He did? Oh, okay.
He saw it.
It seems to be.
A discrepancy on that.
I don't know if they,
I'm concerned just with the Stargate fence, why is it underneath?
I think it's because they found out during, from what I read in the notes. So did you find out during the surveying that your lot was off by
Yes,
7 feet?
very much so.
So that's why the fence kind of runs at an opposite
yeah.
way?
The backstory is that the, I don't know, maybe 8
Who
years
built-
ago,
who built your
whatever,
house?
Eversource clear cut everything.
Yep, they did.
And everybody screamed and yelled, and they offered to put up a fence.
Okay,
I said, "Go, yeah, that's fine."
Right.
And they put the fence up. Well, now, when I got the surveyor's plan back,
you found out that it's
we
not.
found out that we're way
You're way
into
into someone else's.
Joe's property. And also, the surveyor told me that there were virtually no markers on Bisbee Drive. He found one out in the Bog Road, and he had to go all the way up to South Meadow Road to come back and get it. And he said, there's virtually no plot plan on the street.
My mom
That's-
lived
That's
on South
correct.
Meadow, I believe that, yeah.
On this lot.
So, is your neighbor here?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so there it is, so that you can ask them.
this is bigger.
Yeah, this fence line's over here, on this.
Right. Is there another one?
So are you planning on moving the fence when you do
Yes.
the actual?
I have the surveyor is coming out next week. He's
Okay.
gonna stake it all off for me, and then the fence is gonna
Oh,
get
so
taken care of.
that answers that.
The fence is in the back, right? In the rear?
Yes.
Okay,
It goes back and on the neighbor's property.
yeah.
This was a subdivision back in the day, right? Yeah, I thought it was. I'm surprised there's no.
Is there any space that you're building there above there's a garage underneath, right?
Yes.
In the picture. Is it at the same level as the main house?
Yeah, the floor is gonna be the exact same level as the existing home.
Is there the existing ground floor of your house, right?
Right.
Yep, okay.
You need to see
Yeah.
anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what they got.
You have an extra set of plans?
I'm sorry?
You have an extra set of plans.
I do, that, I have another one at home. And,
Yeah, you're going to have to submit these plans. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. You're going to have to submit these plans.
Okay, Mr. Palmer has a set of plans.
You have a set of plans, Mr. Palmer?
I do.
That's the building commissioner for the town of Carver. We're honored to have him here again this evening. Good.
But you can have those if you'd like.
Nope, you're going to take them back because Mr. Palmer is the guy that needs them eventually. Okay? Now, Mr. Poirier asked a good question, that is, you've got a garage on the first level, and the accessory is going to be on the second level above the garage. Is that true?
Yes.
And what's above the accessory? Is there some sort of floor up there that you're going to use for some purpose?
No, it's basically an attic, you know.
And this attic, is it a full floor, or is it a, just,
Like a
No,
crawl?
It's short. You wouldn't be able to.
couldn't even walk in there, is that right?
You could not.
Okay. And the height of this accessory is going to be below the peak of the primary residence, is that
Yes,
true?
correct. I have those dimensions if you'd like them.
Those are always good to have, go.
All right, the height of the accessory from the back of the house, which is up higher, is 19 feet 8 inches.
Yep.
The height from the driveway, which is in the front, is 23.1.
And what's the height of the peak of the roof of the primary residence?
That I do not have.
It would
But as you
be,
can see from the...
it would be less than 23 feet 1 inch, correct?
It'll be more.
I mean, it would be
existing
more-
home is- The existing home is higher.
Would be higher?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Misspoke.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question?
You don't have to ask me, go.
Does Eversource or New England, whatever, Edison Light, do they have a required setback for their easement?
Yes.
I don't believe so.
It-
Question again?
So the question I'm asking is, they have an easement through your property, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Typically with easements, you know, they, in my experience, they usually have a setback that, so that they can get equipment or whatever they're doing in that location. Usually they, you know, the statute has a setback on that, and I'm not sure.
I believe, you could be right, it is, I think it's like 20 feet or something, if I show you the,
And the reason why I'm asking is it looks like part of your ADU, and there's a deck off of the rear of it, is within that easement.
So this
So
is on the
I'm
neighbor's
just
property
curious to
right now.
see if they would have any concern about that, that's all.
I don't know that, that little piece that's in is basically a back stairs and porch. It's not like part of the,
No, it's still a structure, though, that'll be in that easement area. That's all I'm concerned about. I'd hate to have you build something, and if they had to do something, ask you to remove it, because
Yeah.
it's within their easement, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
So from a common sense approach, it might be a good idea to communicate with the holder of that easement to see whether anything that you're intending or wanting to do might be opposed
okay.
in the end. You don't want them coming close to the back of your house with big pieces of equipment and disturbing your peace, right?
So it looks like your existing structure, you're like right on that line. That deck crosses a line and gets into the backyard, based on what I'm looking at, that's all.
You ever have construction equipment from,
Is it Eversource, is
is
the
it
easement, is
New
that what you
Bedford
said?
Gas and
Yeah, it's
Edison Light?
Eversource that
You ever have equipment come on there?
Just when they cut the trees down, when they trim, but I've never had any, why,
How often do they do that?
Maybe
maybe 5 years or so.
5 to 7.
Do they come in your backyard? They do, they come
They
right
do.
down the
Yeah.
backyard, okay.
They've gotten much, much better.
There are two towers, and the tower that's closest to our house is one that, I think it's a spare, it's not
It's a
one
training
that's
facility.
energized. And that is, I believe, that line that comes across the back of the house is the outside of the, whatever it is, 20 feet or something from the
Yeah.
lines that
Okay.
it goes.
I would just ask that question, that's all.
And it's a good question to be asking.
Yeah, just to make sure they don't.
Just to
take it
protect
down.
yourself. I mean, I don't want you to spend money for nothing, that's all.
I mean, we can go ahead and act anyway, one way or the other,
Okay?
but if I were you, I would want to make sure that the holder of that easement is not going to feel as if they're right to enter and use that property for whatever purpose it sees fit, is going to be impaired by the construction of your proposed ADU.
Would Mr. Palmer know anything on restrictions like that?
Well, typically Eversource, the width of their easement with high tension lines is typically a 125-foot easement. I'm not sure what yours is. But typically that easement is where structures should not be built. But it's right up to that easement line. So
Correct.
There's no actual additional setback from that line.
Okay.
It's his property, they just have an access easement.
Okay.
So they can't build within that easement.
So is that, and thank you for that clarification, is that dotted line that's on this plan the inner side of that easement?
Yes.
And then the outer part of the easement would be, and I'm just using 125 as a number, would be the back side?
Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at the site plan. Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, please.
It looks like,
Because normally it's shown, like. I
it
mean,
looks
if-
like the deck invades that easement.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why I asked the question, Stephen. That's-
Yeah, so it looks like there's even a shed on that
Right.
property. So that deck, you may have to rethink that. Within their easement, it's stated that no structures.
But even the fence line on that right side, that
Yeah,
goes through the neighbors, goes through that easement as
Well,
well.
that's gonna get, yeah, it'll get.
I mean, even if it
moved,
gets
but-
moved, I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
how-
they still have the right to plow through it if they're.
So, if they service you, do they come in from the left? Is that
They
it?
come in from the back.
The back gate.
There's a big gate that they,
So you leave it for access for
Right.
them, so they're
Alright.
used to,
They
okay.
usually come to the front door, say, we're coming in to cut down all the brush.
Yeah,
I mean, all the trees are already gone, so.
Right.
It's just maintenance.
yeah, maintaining.
Yeah,
Now it's just maintenance, which is, I'm actually fine, because they're all thorns, and half of them stick in the dog.
Ooh,
Oh.
So when they come
Yeah.
and take all the thorns down, I don't have to deal with it.
that's a good thing.
I'm kind of wondering out loud whether we need to save you from yourselves here. And what I mean by that is whether we should defer making a decision tonight until you communicate with Eversource to let them know what you're doing.
They may not object, however, if you show the plan with that, they may have some discretion with it. And then you'd be honed in on that easement not to build that, and it may change your configuration, that's all.
not to say that you can't try to fit it some other way, just maybe bringing it up a little further,
yeah.
or,
And so, can I ask one further question? Your ADU, the setback that you have from the house, is there a reason why you set it, is to give you driveway space? Why is it set back so
Yeah.
far into that easement?
Pretty much driveway space and in my home, there's a two-car garage under. Right. We're gonna cover over one of them, for the ADU. I was kinda hoping to keep the other one.
Oh, I see what
Oh,
you're,
I
so,
see.
Yeah.
for convenience sake, you were trying to keep one of the
Keep
two
one.
stalls. Got it?
Yep.
And also, it also covers all the windows on the first floor of my home. It's
Right.
already covering over my kitchen windows that are there now.
Yeah.
I kinda wanted to keep the dining room window open so that they,
yep,
have some light on that side of the house as well.
So I would definitely ask Eversource just, what you can and can't do, because I'd hate to have you. it looks
Because
like-
if we voted this tonight and then you found out you had to change it, then you have to come back again
Right.
with your revised plans, because you have to build whatever has been submitted that we vote on, so
With
that's.
the conditions, right?
Yeah, and they have the legal right, as you know, as the holder of an easement, to use that property to maintain whatever equipment that they have out there, right? They've got the legal right to do this. And that legal right exists in conjunction with your legal right to your own property. So you're kind of sharing that easement that piece of land there on which the easement rests with Eversource. So I think the members up here raised some very good points. And there's a shed on there too, which invades the easement. So you have the shed, you've got
It would be the deck.
Go back here.
the deck. Yeah, you got a shed and a deck which are clearly within that easement. And now you're going to build further into that easement, it looks like. So,
How long's the shed been where it's located,
It's part of the
roughly?
About
addition.
20 years easily.
And they've never said anything,
The addition.
yeah.
okay.
It's been there a long time.
I'm not saying they're gonna
Well,
be
no,
objective
but
to
you
it at
don't
all.
know what thing
Yeah.
they're going to object to. That's really your point,
Right,
right?
that's
Right.
right.
They may not care about the shed, but for some reason, they might just care about the fact that the porch is, or the deck is 2 feet out into the easement or something.
The issue is when you, let's say there is a structure in the easement, and when you add a secondary build onto that, now you're creating an obstacle for them to try to maneuver around for equipment. The shed may not be an issue for them. When the deck gets on there, their piece of equipment may not be able to maneuver as easily for them, that's all. And they'll tell you instantly whether, it's a problem or it's not.
Do you know who it is that I would call them? I don't.
The wires that go across your property, okay, how far back are they in that easement?
From your house.
20 feet.
It's pretty
So
close.
they're that close, wow.
Wow.
That's really close.
You don't lose power very often, huh?
I mean, one fix here would be to remove that deck.
But where would you put it? They would need something off of that
The only-
ADU.
Right.
just
For an egress
looking at it
purpose.
quickly Is, I've just rearranged, if you look on the left side of the ADU, it goes out to a patio that faces.
Yes, I see it.
I could probably put a door there and then make that a solid wall
Right.
to the back of the house if that was an issue.
Well, it's not an issue to me right now until you talk to Eversource.
Right, no, if it's an issue with them, then that's what we'll have to.
Address it, yeah, just to,
We'll rearrange the deck furniture, so to speak.
So I get the sense that the consensus is to defer judgment tonight.
To continue.
Yeah, defer judgment tonight, continue this case to allow you an opportunity to speak to Eversource.
Okay?
And what I would suggest, for your own protection and also for our own records here, that you get some sort of letter or memo from them saying that they have no issue with you constructing an ADU on your property based upon the plot plan that you show them, and you'll have to show it to them.
Does anybody have any idea how and whom that I would,
Go online. I'm sure that there's some sort of contact information that you can get on the Eversource website about questions concerning easements. Okay?
okay?
I don't have that number. I get a lot of numbers in my head. I don't have that one in my head.
I don't imagine that you're the first person who's ever called about building something that's bumping up against an easement. So sure they have to deal with this
Yeah,
on a
there's
fairly regular
activities.
basis.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
there's
a
that
lot
too.
of people in town use the easement as part of their property even.
Yeah, so I'm not
So-
saying, we're not saying this is going to blow everything up for you by
Right.
any stretch. Ms. Bonetto.
I know, breathe, it's all
Okay,
good,
so-
it's all good.
But we want to make sure that you're not getting involved in a project that is going to end up
Yeah.
causing you problems.
Yeah.
When are you looking to begin construction?
As soon as I can.
Well, it's going to have to wait for a little while until you get this squared
Yeah, no, I
away.
understand. I understand.
So
Um,
the suggestion would be, while we're delaying to the next meeting, gives them time to get the answers. What if we did a site visit? And then we'd have a better picture of exactly where everything is, how close to the tree line.
The survey is coming out. Can he stake out the ADU? Could he put stakes in the ground or where the proposed ADU is
Yeah.
going?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, there's a stake there now.
I mean, I'd take a ride over.
He's got that blank look on his face.
No, I'm looking at Ms. Dahl.
What, it's all good with me
What's all good with you?
to do that, to go do a site visit, if you
Mr.
feel.
Poirier has a very busy schedule. What about you, Mr. Poirier?
Depends on the day of the week.
Why do we need to do a site visit?
Just to get a visual. I mean, I can see what's going on here. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm just suggesting, since we're gonna have a delay anyways,
Gives you an
to get a better
opportunity.
picture.
Do you want a site visit? Yes or no?
I would like to go see.
Okay,
but-
it's the custom of this board that if one of us wants a site visit, we all go.
We all go.
So, blame this guy here. All right, so we're going to come up now with 2 dates. Before we do you have anything else you want to add?
No, my neighbors are here.
Yep, we'll hear from them, but do you have anything else you want to add at this point?
As far as I'm concerned, no.
Okay.
Mrs. Spinetto?
I'm breathing.
Good, good. Breathing is good.
All right,
Yeah, oh, I do have one question.
yes.
So as soon as the surveyor comes out, then do we get in touch with you and let us know that everything's all staked out? So you don't waste
Come
a
out for
trip
nothing.
coming?
Yeah,
That's
call
fair.
the planning department downstairs and let them know it's all staked out and ready to rock and roll. Now, usually we have 1 meeting a month, okay? So that ought to give you plenty of time to get it staked out for us. Okay, and usually we come in the mornings, like on a Saturday. If it's late morning, then you provide the pizza. If it's early, the coffee and the donuts. I'm teasing. Do you have anything else you want to add? Okay.
So you do have some stakes out there already?
I do have a stake out there.
Just
um,
one?
Just
Okay, so we would like to see the,
Perimeter.
The 4 corners.
yep,
4 corners, I'll take care of that.
okay.
Okay? The 4 corners, that one ought to be easy. And again, when you contact Eversource, see if you can get some sort of memo from them saying that they have no issue with the proposed construction. And they're not going to be able to say yes or no until they see a copy of the plan, plot plan. So you're going to have to be prepared to give them a copy of that, so they know what they're saying yes or no to.
Correct.
Yeah, I have a bunch of copies.
Okay. Now, there's some people here that may want to speak as to this particular petition. Is there anyone here? Yes, sir. What is your name?
Joseph Wanuski.
Joseph what? I didn't hear. What's your last name, Joseph?
Wanuski.
Can you spell that?
I'm asking.
Yeah.
G-L-A-N-E-U-S-K-I.
Okay, Joseph.
Can you come up a little closer, please?
Yeah. That's good.
Close enough.
Very good.
I can be shallow or really large.
Go ahead.
Go in between. My concerns are the variance that they require. How does that impact if I have any future plans?
Well, what side of the property are you on?
I'm on the right.
It's on the
So
right.
as we're facing their house,
So you're on the
it's
other
the
side
right.
of the trees?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
12.
Okay.
So you have some future plans?
If
Potential.
I did, I'd like to know because they didn't go up.
Well, any future, you have to have a 30-foot setback
Okay.
with whatever you do, right? That's the bylaw in town.
yep.
Right.
So whatever you decide to do, you got to stay 30 feet away from their line,
Okay.
okay? Now, his problem is, what he wants to do is not 30 feet away from your line.
Exactly.
So he needs 8.4 feet relief from us,
Yeah.
right? Because he's a little too close to you. He likes you, by the way, but he's a little bit too close.
My question is that by granting, let's say the 8.4 feet, I need a future variance.
It doesn't hurt you at all.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't hurt me.
No, your case
property-
would be your
property line is
case.
in the same spot where it's always been. It just means that his construction would be less than 30 feet from where that line
On
is.
his property, has
Right.
nothing to do with your
Nothing
property.
to do with you.
Now, also, there's a fence line. I believe we addressed that earlier. It is like 20 feet off center of my property exceeds the fence line.
Yep.
That'll be addressed from what I was told.
So he said that they're gonna move the fence to
Gonna
where
take it
it
down,
should
are you
be
not?
Take it
properly?
down and move it, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, the surveyors, after I talked to you the other day, I called my surveyor, and he's coming out next week, and he's gonna stake off the whole thing so we know where to put the fence. And when that's done, I'm gonna go 10 inches my side of that line, and that's where the fence is gonna be.
Okay, very good. I believe in living my lawyer. I just want things right so they don't cut my own throat.
right, no, that's
Right.
fair, that's a,
Sure,
yeah, that's a
understood.
fair ask.
We understand, yep.
No, that's totally fair.
Or was there anything else?
That's about it.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Anyone else want to be heard on this? Okay. Anything further from any of the board members?
No.
No.
So I think the next order of business, unless the petitioner has anything further to add, would be to schedule,
Yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, this whole fence thing,
Yeah,
that fence has been there for over 15 years. We all were just aware of all this when we started this project. So we deeply didn't know, feel
It ha-
bad.
Yeah,
And
and we don't hold that
That's what
It
against you.
happens
happens.
when the
It
surveys come
happens
out.
when the original survey lines
Yeah.
are off, and you're not the first person in town that's gone through that.
Okay,
Trust me.
all right.
Yeah.
And you're rectifying the issue, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's fine.
No problem.
Yep.
We don't hold it against you.
no.
All right, so we need two dates. We need a date for our next regular meeting, and then we need a date for Mr. Barrington's site visit. So, I think we're looking probably towards the end of July. Mr. Poirier, do you have your phone out?
Somewhere.
July 23rd?
No.
It's a Thursday?
The last week of July is not good for me.
That's not the last week.
Yeah.
27th is.
Oh, let me take a, okay, hold on a second. Let me take a look.
See, this is why he has to get his phone out.
He's going on a cruise again.
No, no cruise.
Hurry up, would you?
I think the 23rd's okay. I gotta double check.
What day of the week is that?
A
Thursday.
That's a Thursday.
Okay, so July 23, and let's decide as well on a date for the site visit, which should be closer to the 23rd than not, because you're going to have to get your surveyor out, and you're going to have to stake it and so forth, so. what-
Saturday, the 18th?
Saturday, the 18th, does that work for you, Mr. Poirier?
Yes.
Mr. Poirier?
Hold on one second, let me just double check that.
This guy's schedule is busier than mine.
18th's fine.
Okay.
Do you
that's
have
a-
anything?
That's a Saturday?
Somebody will be
Yeah.
around?
Hold on just a minute, Mr. Berg. That's a Saturday, right? So what time of morning would you folks like for the 18th?
4:30, too early?
No,
I go into
Joe.
work at 4, so
Ah, nice, good
no
answer.
problem with me.
Why don't we say 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
is that August or July?
That's July.
Oh,
All right, so July 18th at 9, we're going to go out and visit you. And on July 23, we will reconvene in these quarters. And hopefully you'll be able to provide us with some sort of communication, written, not verbal, from Eversource, and also a survey plan.
What kind of muffins do you like?
he makes
Just keep them under $50.
That's right.
Exactly, exactly.
I'm the general manager of James Diner, so I
Oh,
what I do.
okay.
Okay, does anybody have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, so I think we can move on.
we're good.
Let's vote to continue the case to July 23rd. Let's do that vote first. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And let's do a vote to do a site visit on July 18th at 9 a.m. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we are squared away. You know what you got to do, right? Shouldn't be difficult. And any questions, you can coordinate with the building commissioner who sits behind you, or any of the nice ladies in the planning department.
She is a nice lady, but
Well, there's 3 of them down there.
the lady in the zoning office is very patient. She's
Good, that's nice to hear. Very good. Nice to see you both tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in a month.
Take that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, we have another matter on the agenda for this evening.
Thank you.
Let's get this together here. Okay. This is case number 17-28-0-R. The property location is 18 Brockton Avenue, and Mr. Barrington, could you read the public hearing notice into the record?
Case 17-28-0R, petitioner Raquel Ferrier, requesting a special permit pursuant to section 290-2-2.5-D, also 290-5-2.2A, and 290-5-3.3 of the Carver zoning bylaw for property located at 18 Brockton Avenue in Carver, Mass. Assessors map 17, lot 28-0-R, so as to reconstruct and extend the legal non-conforming nature of said single-family dwelling in the residential agricultural district.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Barrington. And I observe that the petitioner is present. You may approach. Before I turn this over to the rest of the board, I have a couple of quick questions. The home that you're intending to build there is short on frontage. How many feet?
So it's currently 16 feet.
You're short 16 feet, or you only have 16 feet?
It's on the, what it says on the plot plan, like from the street to
I
the,
don't know if you can see this. Is this what you're looking at?
yes.
Mr. Palmer, could you take a look at what you're doing? Because I'm going to want,
They have 50 feet of frontage.
I want to know if they're short on frontage and also short on sideline dimension.
So they are.
Yeah.
And I want to know how many feet.
I don't see dimensional setback.
Yeah, and I didn't either. That's why I'm inquiring.
Yeah, so I think the intent is that footprint is in the same position that the original house was before it was taken down. I believe the applicant has an as-built of the original.
Do you have a as-built from the original?
I do, it's the plot.
Because the original was short on the left, short on the right, and was it short in the front as well, Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
But okay in the back?
Yes.
Okay. So those 3 dimensions did not meet bylaw guidelines. Current bylaw
That's correct.
guidelines. And you have an as-built plan, do you?
Yes, I submitted it.
You don't have one with you, right? Mr. Palmer, would that be in your file back in the office?
If it was submitted, yes.
Okay, he says it was, so Just want to make sure.
I don't have the file with
It would have been under the first permit that they pulled, probably, my
Yeah.
gut feeling.
me. Yeah, I required a site plan for the original building permit application.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we know from last month's meeting that although it would appear that this home that you're now building is within the same footprint, right, Mr. Palmer? Within the same, the shape is different. The box is different. You now have, get my notes out.
Yeah, the configuration is different.
Yes.
That was the original, right?
That's the original.
Yeah, you now have a roof. The original home did not have a rooftop
Roof deck.
deck,
Yeah.
but the building permit that was issued recently by Mr. Palmer included that rooftop deck because it was within the previously approved scope and setbacks. But the addition you want to do was not approved. That was a new piece of this construction. Is that true, Mr. Palmer?
So the original building permit was to do a renovation on the existing dwelling.
Yep.
To include a rooftop deck. And that application met the.
Yes.
The requirements of our zoning bylaw.
Yes.
I don't believe that the actual shape of, or the footprint of the new structure is different than the old.
Yes.
I believe that the reason that we're here today is because they raised the building. The building was essentially raised in its entirety and rebuilt. That cannot happen without a special permit. And that is what brought the applicants to the board
Right.
today.
The question that I was asking, though, is the original house had no addition. You're intending to build an addition to the original house?
No, sir.
They're just adding a roof deck.
Right.
The only thing we have is
The square footage of the building is no more than it is today.
So they just changed the internals. So they're trying to put a kitchen where the living room used to be?
Yeah, internal, yeah.
Okay. And did you approve the newer,
The renovation?
the new renovation with the kitchen?
I did.
You did.
I have no jurisdiction over how somebody designed.
Config-
Designs
right.
the inside, oh, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Right,
But again, the house was raised.
without being
Without
approved or without them approaching you and
Right.
letting you know what happened.
That's right. So
Right.
if you have a home and you want to raise it in its entirety, and it's legally non-conforming, that requires
A special permit.
And we know it's not conforming based upon,
The configuration of the lot.
yeah,
Right.
and the,
The existing conditions.
Right.
well, the dimensions on the sides.
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Dahl and gentlemen?
Okay, so I have a few kind of statements, questions. Last time we were here, we talked about soil erosion and correcting that situation. And I assume that was before this meeting took place. I drove by today. I did see kind of a silt
So,
attached to the metal fence that was there that's tipped over, which in my mind, you're still going to get stuff draining right underneath it. So that really didn't mitigate.
Sorry, but we didn't put any silt fence yet. There's a stop work order, so we didn't step on the property. We have the silt fence, but we did not put anything up.
Okay, there's some black covering,
That was there from the beginning.
really?
With the
Yeah,
tarp
but there
and
was
the
no
fence.
silt fence.
Okay.
We didn't put.
So nothing has been done to mitigate?
We are waiting.
We're waiting.
So to your point, the engineer record for the civil was going to propose a recommended
Right.
silt mechanism to catch any of that. Was that done?
Yes, so I contacted Outback Engineering on May 28th. And I spoke with Jason Youngquist, which
Yeah.
is the civil engineer. And he also contacted Palmer to verify all the information. We do have the plans right here. If you want to take a look, may I step forward?
And the reason they didn't install it yet, because it's a stop work.
The stop work.
So I have
Technically, they,
plans for each one.
thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Is there a
Palmer, have you seen this plan?
I have,
Can I ask a question? On the silt fence, why would that not be permissible prior to any other hearing, just for the, you know, the watershed, I guess, is the word?
I can't answer that. It sounds like the applicant had reservations about going to the property while it was stop work order.
Okay. It just, like with that
But
last
if she
rainstorm.
had brought
that we had.
these to you, would you have allowed the stop order to be lifted?
It really wasn't up to me for them not to go on the property. That was their prerogative.
Their choice.
Okay.
I've worked with Jason, and he's pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you that I had an in-depth conversation with Jason, and I explained to him, I sort of articulated what your concerns were. I also talked to him about being responsible and doing a site visit during the construction of this permanent erosion control. So I think if you look at that document that you have, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, the lower paragraph, he talks about him,
Yep.
that he will actually visit the site to ensure that the soils they use are good soils.
And there will be an inspection done after everything is ready as well.
Does that inspection and that site visit include the restoration that's going to be needed to the adjacent neighbors?
I'm not sure. You know, all I can say is this plan that they created was to ensure the stabilization on both sides to
Right.
prevent any further erosion.
But it was my understanding some of the neighbors on, not only the fencing, but some of the neighbors experienced some of the silt runoff onto their property. So that restoration more than likely will, I would like to see it included as part of the silt barriers, you know, before, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to do it until you restore what they had, you know?
I agree.
That was some of the neighbors' concerns, if you remember from.
Yeah.
One in particular, and I observed the gentleman to be present tonight. Sure. What else would you like to say?
I also contacted John Woods from DPW. I contacted him as well on May 28th, but he wasn't in, he was on vacation. So he answered me on June 1st. And I have the email as well, because I just requested him to have it in writing, which he states that after our conversation this morning, I took a ride to Brockton Avenue. The road is in okay shape. It definitely needs some potholes patched, which I will have done. But other than that, I did not see anything that should cause any safety issues. Please reach out if you need to discuss this further. That's
Let's make
all he
that
said.
email part of the record.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank
my
you.
understanding that's a private way anyway.
Yeah, is that a private road?
Is it accepted by the town?
Yeah, I don't know. The town maintains it. The town maintains it. They do the plumbing, they do the maintenance of it, so.
Yeah, that does not sound like a private
I mean,
road.
Right.
Yeah, but it's something that
It's
they
being
take care of,
maintained.
because there's enough people
Yeah.
down there to take care of it.
Continuing on with some notes that I've made. I went on your website, Boston Dream Group, and you talk a lot about professionalism, and doing high-quality work and all of that stuff. And, you know, so that brings me back to what I said last time was, how did we not find these issues when we bought before buying the property, or right afterwards, and then you inspect and say, uh-oh, we can't rebuild it the way we wanted to.
We can't imagine, we can't see inside the wall. It's just, it is what it is. So we have our reputation, and if you look at reviews and everything, but I can't see inside the walls. We're limited. So I wish we could help better. I wish we could just, you know, see it. But some of the areas, if you look at the photos that we have, it was just discovered the plywood was ripped up and now the stair walls. So, you know, there's nothing we could have done.
There was no way to get underneath the building prior,
It was
like when you
really
looked at
tight
it?
space. There was a lot of erosion from the top.
Mm.
So the major structural issues that you found were discovered when you took the walls down? Is that what you're saying?
All the floors
And the floors.
All the joists. You know, we took out first we took the floors,
Yep.
and after the plywood. And when we were moving the plywood, the joist was coming together with the plywoods. That was the major concerns.
So the joists were shot? They were
Was not
basically,
even holding the plywood,
that
it was coming together.
was coming up with, I
the
understand.
plywood.
Can I ask you just a question, why you didn't just stop right then before you ripped it up and go talk to Mr. Palmer and
Yeah.
just say, hey,
Yeah, like
I got a problem?
Yeah, no,
Like, I mean, I
mentioned
get it, you're totally
Yeah.
trying to have a business and, you know,
No, like I mentioned on the last meeting, so it was on Saturday when we took the demolition.
But there's a Monday after.
I know, there was a Monday after that,
Yeah.
he called me, but like I said, it was on Saturday, and then I came by the job, and I looked everything, and I ran by, and my guys were working on Sunday, and I didn't know, I talked to my manager late on, and that was when the demolition took place. They just stacked work and took it, but I take the blame, you know, I was supposed to be there, but I did. I had church on Sunday, I couldn't make it, and then they were there working on Sunday, and then when on Monday he called me, and I was surprised as well, the same as he was.
So I'm gonna make sure I got this straight. So are you saying that by Monday, that the house had substantially been taken down? It was,
so your crew took it down Sunday?
gotcha. Okay.
Who gave the crew direction to take it down?
Well, there is no direction, so when you hire a subcontract was for, rebuild the addition in the back and took the whole roofing, that's what we got the permit for. But he just said, in his imagination, that's why I have a text and email with him, and I exchanged an email because,
But
we
you-
got at this point because of him, but I took the blame because it's my fault as well.
Are you the responsible party for the, like your construction super, who pulled the permit?
Yeah.
I took the
So ultimately, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who you hired, who, you know, it could have been Sammy, you know, you're ultimately responsible.
I know.
Okay. You know, whether he thought it was the right thing to do or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not blaming, just explaining what
Right.
happened. And then unfortunately he did, he thought it was way faster to just,
Does he still work for you?
It is way faster in his imagination, but I told him, we gotta stop and talk to the building inspector and see what he wants to do it. But, that's not what happened.
Mr. Palmer, when did you issue the stop work order? Was
It was
it,
on
It was on
Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 21st.
October 21st.
Yeah, he called me on Monday, October 20, verbal, he said, you gotta stop, and that's what I told her, you gotta, get out of there and stop the work.
so, but my question is, and well, it was my understanding, you didn't reach out to him, he reached out to you because he got a complaint from a neighbor. And my concern is, would your crew have continued working? You can't say no because he issued a not stop work order, that's why they said no. When you saw it Monday, or you got whatever happened, the only reason you came in contact with him was because he had issued a
No,
stop
I was on
work.
my way to Carver to check on the job, and then he called me and said, yeah, I'm on the way to meet you. So that's why I met him after 20 minutes.
I understand that, but you only met him because there was a problem.
No, I was driving down to the Carver to check on the project. So I didn't know until then, I was surprised that.
When did you, Mr. Palmer, when did you get notified that there was a problem?
I believe it was that one,
Of Monday?
And what time did you end up meeting?
11:55.
Did you visit, so
Roughly.
did you,
Before noon.
Before noon?
did you visit the site when you got the complaint first, obviously?
I received received the complaint, a phone call,
Yeah,
and then within an hour or two, I drove down.
okay. Right.
And his crew was still there at that point?
Yes.
Mr. Barrington, continue.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We've kind of answered or made a few points. Okay, so you're the purchaser of the property, and you're the builder. Okay, because again, you have a website advertising your company. I went online and I saw you showing the house and what your hopes and plans were for it. And, you know, it sounded like this was going to be good until we ran into this wall that we're all discussing right now. So,
It's probably a little unfortunate that you put it up there for sale as all said and done before you had all your permits and stuff issued as well.
Yeah,
So-
no, it was only, we were going to, if someone wanted it, it would be finished. Like, we would go through this process anyways.
Like the realtor does, you know,
Yeah.
sell the land with the building.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just pre-advertising.
yeah.
yeah. I'm good.
Mr. Poirier,
I'm, pretty much everything that we've discussed are things that we're.
Ms. Dahl,
Same.
Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah, I'm good right now.
So there was a question that we entertained when we were last in session. And it is what to do with what appears to be a clear violation of the scope of the permit that was issued in this particular case. And you know that the bylaw allows us to enact a penalty in situations such as this. So I want to kind of take a poll of the board and get a feel for whether or if you folks feel that that's appropriate in this situation. And if so, what sort of penalty you have in mind. Mr. Barrington as vice chair, we'll lead with you.
I do believe a penalty should be assessed. There was a lot of time in between when it was taken down and the stop work order. I just think there was a number of violations that was included that occurred. And I'm, for a dollar amount, easily 1,000 plus, in my mind. Without getting down to nitty gritty, let's count the exact number of days
Right.
and X number of dollars for every single day. I want to be careful that whatever a penalty, financial penalty might be, that we don't kill the project altogether and then we're stuck with a monstrosity sitting there. But I also think we need to, again, make sure that rules are followed, policies, and that people are doing the right thing and not trying to circumvent. So that's my thought on the matter.
Ms. Dahl, your thoughts, please.
I feel the same way. I feel that you really should have just stopped when you hit the floor and just sent everybody home and got a hold of him first.
Oh, like I said, I wasn't.
I get it. I mean, I own a business too. I get it. Stuff happens. People work for you. Ultimately, you're responsible, but still, there's rules. And if, you know, if we don't follow the rules, then why bother, right? So, and yeah, I do feel that you should pay a financial penalty for it because, again, you've been in business since like 21, I think I looked up online. So it's not like it's your first property. It's not your first flip, whether you live there in some of the previous flips you've done or someone else. So it's stuff that you guys should know. So it's just not cool to kind of go around, you know, him. Because we need him to keep everything going in a good direction, so.
Do you have a number in mind, Ms. Dahl?
I would say more than $1,000, yeah. Because otherwise you could be fined
What is the
300.
minimum- What is the minimum bylaw here? What is the minimum penalty for day? And what is the max?
$300 a day.
Minimum.
For every, yeah,
What
minimum,
is
for
the
like every
maximum?
day that you're in
I don't know, what is 2
violation.
days, so what is the maximum?
Longer than 2 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
Huh? But the
Yeah, I
verbal,
think-
when you stop by on Monday, it requires 2 days. But, you know, put on the paper, it's Tuesday.
Mr. Poirier?
Well, I guess to be honest with you, after last time, I didn't have quite as clear of a timeline as I got today, and what I heard makes me feel a little bit better about how this kind of went down. But, you know, we've had other petitioners who have had things that are outside the scope of the bylaw, and people need to know that that can't be allowed to happen. So, I mean, I probably would be in agreement with Jim somewhere in that vicinity, I guess, once we decide, well, you know, I don't know, do we have an exact number of days at this point?
You know, it depends on whether we want to get into the weeds and calculate an exact number of days, or whether we just want to impose a penalty.
Yep.
It would be within
Yep.
what we're allowed to do.
Okay.
And it is $300 a day. This project, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, was basically abandoned between October and when you came and filed your request for a special permit. So that's months. Nothing happened out there.
Yeah, if it was winter, there was nothing that could be done because the septic needs to be installed before the house is built.
Yep.
And we haven't even had the septic yet because the land was too like, hard.
Yeah, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they're not going to allow a septic to go until you have a building plan with the building department. I mean, that's typical.
Right.
They're not just going to put a septic system in a vacant lot.
So is your septic system in now?
No, they haven't even put it in
So you
yet.
started building without,
No, we have, the septic plan was approved and everything, but they have not installed the septic.
but you started building?
No, we
Like you-
have not started building.
I drove by today, there's walls.
Yeah, so
I mean, so you
we put up-
started
we put-
rebuild,
we
you
put up-
started
we
rebuilding.
put up- Yeah, we started rebuilding, put up the walls.
Right.
And once we're done with roofing, we wrap it up and then he come into the septic. So we have everything on the schedule.
The sequence, this is where I'm having a hard time with everything right now. There was a permit pulled for renovation with a proposed deck addition on the roof. Your crew came in, they tore apart the building for the renovation. Was there a new foundation put in place?
There was a partial foundation replacement / repair in the back of the house.
Okay, so that,
The same footprint.
all right, so that was put in place. Where you discovered the floor being, or the support mechanism, the structure, not being able to support it, the crew tore that apart. And what were they doing when Mr. Palmer visited?
So this whole back here, so we took out this whole back here. And then with excavation, and we did the footings was inspected and we did the walls. And only the back. And then after we did the back, we raised it, the whole back was renewed, and we came to the front.
So those walls that you saw standing was on the inspected footings and foundations
Yeah.
of that section. The part came into question was when they took down the entire structure and started doing the front. What work was, when you got on site, what were they doing?
On October 21st?
Yeah,
They were boarding the roof or finishing the rafters.
and what was going on with the front of the, was the spot that was knocked down, was it reconstructed already?
So let me just kind of back up, give you maybe a better understanding. So my site visits are typically when I'm requested to do a visit.
Yep.
Somebody will call, somebody will stop by the office. I don't typically go to job sites
Correct.
once a week to see how progress is going. It's the applicant. Sometimes I'll get a call once a week, sometimes I'll get a call for 6 months later. So in this particular case, I'd gone out, I'd done an inspection of a partial foundation replacement / repair on the back of the house. That was my last visit. Now, I had received a number of complaints from neighbors about erosion. So there were site visits that I made, not to do a building inspection.
Right.
But to
Site.
look at
Like a
the
site
erosion,
inspection.
the concerns of the neighbors.
Okay.
So that was my only actual building inspection. On October 21st, I received a phone call that the house was raised and rebuilt. So I went out there on Monday morning, and when I went out there Monday morning, all of the walls, the main building was reconstructed. New floor system, new walls, and they were at that time constructing the roof. I don't think there was plywood on the roof, or there may be some plywood, but most of the rafters, I think, were in. And that is when I placed stop work or order on the project.
So to clarify, just so, you know, because I'm running into a wall, the area that they tore down and brought upright, what was that bearing on?
I think just, you know, it was an old house built in the 1940s or 50s, maybe.
So piers?
Yeah, mostly pier footings or piers on top of cylinder footings or just
Stone.
posts on top of block. I have no
Yeah,
idea. I
posts
never
on top of
examined
blocks.
it. It was
No
never,
footings.
yeah, I never crawled under there to look.
So when you, and I'm just going off of what you said where the walls and they were putting on the roof, but the front area that was supposed to remain, was that any work done to that?
Yeah, they had put footings under there. They had replaced some footings, installed a LVL.
Carrying beam, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was in before they decided to raise the remainder.
So, and so I'm going to ask you now, when did that occur?
So like the footings?
So, yeah, so you,
Together?
concrete has to cure before you put a
Exactly.
carrying beam
Yeah,
on.
the footing.
So it wasn't,
The footing
so,
happened together with the back, everything together. When they spec the foundation in the back, they spec the front.
so what do you mean they inspect the front?
Yeah, the front footings, because we add that in the permit, so we had.
That wasn't going to be removed though. How could it be inspected?
Yeah, no, we removed the bottom and then we just support it, so to put a footings on it because there was no footing in the front.
As a construction supervisor, any inspection of footings would have to be done by the building commissioner to verify that
It was
it,
inspected,
They were done,
they were done,
yeah. Just a hole,
just a
a
hole.
hole with a cylinder in it.
so, I'm done.
Now, we have taken a poll of everyone on this board but you. What would you like to see happen here?
I mean, being in this career, you get held accountable for, you know, issues that arise, and that's part of your ownership of having a construction supervisor's license. The training, the classes, all of the education you get, it's to minimize an impact of this nature. So, I mean, I haven't been through it, and I've been through enough zoning board hearings to understand there are repercussions and responsibilities held by the construction supervisors. So the value, I'm going to leave it up to the, the board. I mean, I think, an infraction happened and there needs to be accountability, that's all.
Do you have a number in mind?
I'll go along with whatever the board decides.
Let's take a look at the bigger issue, which is a special permit is being requested at this point so the construction can continue and eventually finish. Is that true, Ms. Ferry?
Yes, that's true.
I want that done just so the neighbors don't have to deal with this for the next 2 years as well, so.
Before we go any further, there are people in the audience that might like to be heard. Does anyone have any comment or comments they would like to make or questions they'd like to ask?
Yeah,
Identify yourself, please.
Scott Hanson, 20 Brockton Ave. I'm standing for my father.
Okay, and you are right next door or across?
Right next door on the right-hand side is the face of the building.
Go ahead. We've had a lot of rain lately. What's been happening out there?
The erosion's still coming down. I seen they had it surveyed, a little different than we thought too, because up in the back, the fence is actually on their property. So that we gotta address with them, how they wanna work that out. But up in the front, there's more property loss. So the fence is on the property now, and there's erosion on that side more. So my concern is, I want them to finish, I want them to get through this, I want them to get it done. What do we have on the drawing that's gonna protect our property from erosion going down there? That's all I want. If we have something in writing that you guys have on this drawing, I'm all for it, let them continue. As long as I have something to cover us, at the end of the day, this is all inspected, and let's go there now, put sill sock up there, protect it so it don't fall down there anymore. And if there's gonna be a wall there later, I'm all for it, let them move forward. I appreciate your time.
You bet. Anyone else like to be heard on this? What's your name?
Judy Epsry.
Judy.
Yes. I live at 13 Brockton Ave. I live across the street.
I remember you.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead, Judy.
So, I don't know, maybe I'm being too kind or too nice, but, you know, I think they get it. I think they know they made a big mistake. But I also do think that let's try to figure out how to get the project going. I'm not trying to break any laws or anything like that, but just to kind of, let's move it along, if at all possible.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Unless somebody else has something you want to say, Mr. Palmer, you have any final remarks?
I do not.
I think we all understand that there are certain local laws by which we must abide. And if we don't, then these laws allow for certain repercussions to occur in our discretion. So if we don't follow the laws, if we don't follow the rules, and I think we all understand that in order to do a project of this kind, you have to have the appropriate permit. When you decided that you would need to do something different by way of your construction. That is to say, no longer a renovation, but a total rebuild. That required a special permit. And you folks should have been aware of that. You can't plead ignorance. People who sign or request a building permit have to live by what is issued by the building commissioner. And if they don't, as I said, there are potential repercussions that have to be paid, potentially. So I don't think anybody on this board is looking to bankrupt you by imposing a penalty. But I'm the one person that hasn't weighed in on this just yet. Everybody else has. And I'm inclined to agree that these rules are in place for a reason. These bylaws are in place for a reason. These are the laws of the town of Carver. These are our laws. And in this case, they were broken. Either intentionally or negligently or recklessly. They were broken. And you say maybe you weren't quite aware, but you should have been, because the building code says that if you pull the permit, you're responsible for the work that's being done. So I'm inclined to agree as well that there probably should be something that we do in this case to recognize that work was done here well beyond the scope of what was allowed, that this work was being done and would still be continuing today, perhaps, had there not been complaints from neighbors. In other words, you didn't say, after encountering the structural deficiencies in this building, you didn't say, okay, well, we got to stop right now. Can't go any further. We have to figure this out. and you should have made a beeline to Mr. Palmer's office. So yes, I'm inclined to agree that there should be something done here, but we're not looking to squelch or kill the project either. So, speaking just for myself, I'm inclined to grant you the special permit that you need, but there are going to be conditions attached to this. And I'd like to get a sense of the board as to what conditions they'd like to see in the event that we decide to grant the special permit, which is what you're requesting now, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay, let's start with Ms. Dahl. What condition or conditions would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to see I mean, it's such tight quarters down there, and I drove down there today to see exactly where the project stood. Like, just the way that everything is kind of torn apart. You're gonna have to, like, be responsible to do something to protect your neighbors on both sides before you
And what
sell
would
it.
that be? What do you want to see?
Whatever they recommend that you do to keep the dirt back. I mean, obviously, you're gonna cut down, whether it's retaining walls on your own self,
So
or,
we did last time.
So we have, as I said, we already have the silt fence. Once building commissioner authorizes us to step on the property, we will put up the silt fence
Yeah,
during construction. After it's done, there will be, as you guys can see on both sides, there will be a drainage trench
Yeah.
on both sides done, and it will be inspected after construction. But the drainage can only be done after the house is done.
But that that drainage trench is to retain it within your property. It's not draining into any structures, right? It's basically,
It's on our
a French
property,
drain?
yes.
yeah, okay. So a logistics plan is what you're actually asking for. So there's a couple of things that she's pointing out. It is a tight site.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your responsibility to make sure that your construction staff, equipment, materials all stay within that site without impeding the neighbor in any shape, way, or form. It should
Yeah.
not,
That's fine.
like, they should not wake up and see a fence getting hit with a excavator, any of that.
Yes,
So
this fence is already on our property.
I understand, but
So,
it got hit and it affected the neighbor, obviously. So a logistics plan is something that you're gonna show a laydown of where your materials are gonna go. I mean, you know exactly what I'm looking for. On that plan,
yeah, on the plan, he circles where all the temporary construction period fill material stockpile area.
right.
It's
So,
like right there.
And that includes, if there needs to be off-street parking, so you're not impeding the
Yeah,
neighbors.
it does.
The plan should show something because of how tight it is.
It does.
And-
These plans do show.
And use that, and I would submit that for record. I mean, that would
Oh,
be
yeah,
one
absolutely.
condition right out of the
And
bottom.
what do you call that,
A logistics plan,
logistics?
yep. And it shows the contractor's taking a lot of deep dive into their thought process at how they're gonna, keep all of the material and the staff and their work on that particular site without impeding the neighbors, that's all. And part of the erosion control, which we've gotten now, that would have to be in place, obviously. Once the special permit is issued, that would be your first
Oh,
task.
yeah,
I would-
absolutely.
have that.
We have everything here, so.
Yep.
Yep. Once
And
we're authorized
who's
to step on
installing
the
that?
property. So the civil engineer can be there to check that we're installing it correctly.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you who would be installing it.
We contact.
You don't have a site guy right now?
Yeah, we contact the same person that's gonna do the septic system.
Okay.
He does all the site works. So, we're just waiting on number.
So we need a logistics plan, and what else do we need?
Well, you have a
Civil engineer.
erosion control plan.
Drainage trench is the term that they used. Can you explain a little bit more, what does that look like?
It's the picture right here.
It's on the plan.
Did you get a set of, you got a plan, right?
What's it made out of?
So it looks like it's gravel and stone. And it's got a silt sock that looks like it wraps the stone to encapsulate the water, and it'll retain it and slowly disperse it into the soil. That's what the intent of it is.
It's 2x2 holes.
Yeah.
And it's-
I don't mean to pipe in, but you think that's the best route?
It-
I've seen the stuff, I've done it around my other house I just built. Sometimes they're not the best route.
I think that,
Long term.
that depth is probably a better route than just putting a French drain in my opinion. I mean, it's running, it looks like it's running along the whole perimeter.
Yeah, it don't look bad. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying for long term, I just want that's the best route. I didn't mean to pipe in on you. I just figured you were on that subject right now.
Yeah, short of that, an infiltration system would be the only other option.
Yeah.
So basically, they would be corrugated trenches, and the stone would capture the water and let it infiltrate into the ground slowly. But I mean, he had to have done a takeoff off these slopes in the watershed. I mean, that's how he came up with that drain.
Yep.
So the bottom line is this guy right here that stamped it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
ultimately going to be responsible
It's
for
gonna
this.
be
So
responsible,
I mean, it's
exactly.
that simple.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
So,
appreciate that.
so this is where my ignorance in construction shows up. So we've heard talk about a retaining wall.
Right.
So, I mean, is that,
I think that was a comment about retaining the soil, but
Well, there's a retaining wall there now.
no, there isn't.
No.
Might be on the left
On the
side.
left-hand side?
On the left, yes.
There's one on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
So is that going to be repaired before you guys are done? Is that on your property or?
Not on our property. I think it's on the 16 Brockton Ave, Scott.
oh, so that retaining wall has nothing to do with
No, it has not to
that, with
do
that
with that,
address?
no.
so your solution would be the trenches, that's,
That's what the civil engineer
Yeah.
requested,
Yeah.
and was his best opinion was to do this.
How many trenches?
two
Two.
on each
Two.
side.
One on each
One on
side.
each side, yes.
And they're using 3/4 to 1.5 inch double wash stone. It's almost like a, septic field, basically. So,
Another question, the septic's not in right now, and is that going, it's not on the drawing, is that in the back of the house?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's in the back of the
only
house.
reason I'm asking is I don't mind working with them. Like I said, I'd like to see them get done. How are they gonna get the equipment packed?
Yeah,
Well,
I was
that's a
just going to
legit-
ask
well,
that.
that's a
I was
logistics
just
plan.
going to
Yes.
ask that.
Yeah, because I don't mind working with them, that's what I'm saying. I want to see the project get done. We
So-
do have some access that we could, and work out the defense thing before we leave tonight. I want all that worked out, that's all.
Yeah.
I want this to put the rest
Mr.
tonight.
Chair, the special permit that you're considering on issuing would allow them to continue the construction based on the new submission of drawings to the building commissioner? So they applied for a renovation, and now it's gonna be a basic total rebuild. Is there a new set of drawings that were issued?
Yeah, there'll be a revised set of plans to
Right.
reflect what you're approving tonight.
Okay, so that special permit would reflect that,
The new revised set
Yeah,
of plans
that's a condition.
with the
as a
condition.
condition.
And I want
There should be- The applicant should have house plans with them this evening.
Yeah.
And those plans that you review and approve are the same plans that I'll approve.
So do you have the
It's the same
final
plans that was
plans?
submitted. We're not changing anything.
But I'm
It's
gonna
the
want a
same
wet
exact
stamp
plans.
drawing, just with the order
So
of
like,
conditions
so
on
just
there.
like with,
So that when we sign it, they're abiding to every single condition that we're putting in place. So that, I mean, it's just you can have your engineer record just give you a wet stamp drawing. They're gonna stamp a wet set drawing, a Mylar drawing that we can sign that gets recorded.
So the conditions are revised plans have to be filed.
yep.
Erosion control plan's been issued.
So submit the same.
The erosion
logistics
control
plan.
And a logistics plan. And drainage trench, one on each side.
Yeah, I could say let's get to
What
it.
else?
Then the wet stamp has to be on the
Revised plans.
On the
the revised
revised
plan.
plans.
What's the limit of work, like as far as hours of operation?
So we have no
Guidance?
bylaw that regulates when you can start, and when you can stop. Most people typically
7
don't
to
start
5.
before 7 a.m. And depending on the time of year, this time of year, it's not uncommon for frames to work till dark.
Right.
We don't see that in the wintertime, but we don't have any regulations. The planning board on occasion will limit hours of operation for things that require a special permit. or site plan approval. So this board may
And-
choose.
May
do
choose
so.
to do
And that's where I was going with it. I think because of the tight proximity of the neighbors, they're not gonna wanna see them working 7 days a week over there.
Right.
And the hours of operation, if they've worked all day and they come home at 5, unless there's a special provision where you need to work past a certain hour, you would notify the building department, and then he would use his discretion whether to allow you to continue,
Okay, yeah, no problem.
What hours would you think, Ms. Dahl, Mr. Barrington, Mr. Bory?
Yeah, 7 to 5.
Monday through Friday.
Yep, and if you had to work weekends, you'd notify the building department and let him use his
And then he
discretion on
can-
allowing.
Yeah,
And on Saturdays and Sundays, Mr. Palmer, I'd like to see it not start as early, so that we could put that as a
We don't
condition as well.
start early on Saturday anyways.
So as a neighbor, you've heard
I
our
know,
suggestion
yeah.
of 7 to 5.
of trying to be
Monday through
respectful for you
Friday.
guys.
I'm just gonna ask him because he's there all the time.
Yeah.
If I'm working with him, I don't think it bothers him.
Okay.
Even if it was after 5, I don't.
They'll
On
give him a set of
Saturdays and
earmuffs.
Sundays?
I don't think he probably wants it done just like
I wasn't gonna say that, but.
Yeah, just get it done.
we're fine with it.
At 13 block, we don't have any problem them working anytime. This project has been held up so long and everything that
Better off,
All I look
better
for,
off
if you
getting
were,
it done.
if
Yeah.
you were having a family, party,
Right,
I'm just saying that you try to put limits of work from 7 to 5. If they needed to work, I'm not saying they can't, they
Right.
just gotta notify the building inspector. So if a call
Right.
comes in and they're complaining, he's aware of it, that's all.
right.
Yeah, it's better.
we appreciate it.
With all due respect to the board, I would prefer not to be that person. Discretion. I would prefer that you set, if there are limits, I would prefer that they be set now.
Okay.
Because it may be Sunday morning and I'm not at work, or I may be on vacation.
Well, if,
Maybe
my
Sundays off?
expectation, Mr. Palmer, is that they wouldn't tell you on Sunday that they gotta work. They would let
Right.
you know on Friday that they would like to work on a weekend. If they work over so I've been in so many developments where they have free reign and, they're trying to get it done. The excavators, they got spotlight, I've been through it 100 times. And all I'm saying is if they wanna work a weekend, they're notifying you well in advance. It's not a catastrophe that they're trying to do that. It's just a matter of, them reaching out and communicating appropriately.
Well, let's see if we can agree on a list of conditions,
Sure.
because we have been all over the place here.
Yep.
Logistics plan. An erosion control plan, which may or may not include silt fencing, but that's part of erosion.
Yeah, it is.
Right,
They have to file revised plans with a wet stamp. Hours of operation would be Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. And on weekends, Mr. Palmer is enjoying his time off, so let's say 10 to 4, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna do
probably
10 to
fair.
5, but
What do you want, 10 to 4 or 10 to 5?
Can we do 9-4?
9 to 4.
Yeah, I'm all right with that too.
okay.
And those are the conditions that I wrote down. Oh, and there will be a drainage trench, too, one on each side. But
It's
that's-
on the erosion control.
That's
plan.
part of the erosion control, but I'll mention that.
And my only other part that I would add to is, do you have a
And
dumpster?
Excuse me
site?
just a second, on the fencing, now we recognize this on your property, right? But to the extent that fencing has been damaged on anybody else's property,
Or pushed over onto their
Or pushed
property?
over onto their
has that
property.
been fixed? Because that was a
Yes, that
problem
was
before.
fixed.
Oh,
Okay.
Scott, yeah, we fixed,
Yeah.
he spoke last time. with
Okay,
that.
so
Okay.
fencing really isn't an issue.
That's not an issue,
Fencing
no.
and everything, so.
Okay.
So I got about 4 or 5 conditions, and I'll run through them again before we take our vote.
Okay.
Or after we take our vote. Mr. Barrington?
Well, I was, not being first, you lose out because everybody else is sending stuff your way. As part of the conditions, is that what we would
Yes.
include a penalty?
Yes?
That would need to be taken care of?
That will have to be voted on separately?
Okay.
Yes? Ms. Dahl?
Sure, yep.
Mr. Sullivan?
I just have the trash and debris. You're gonna have a 20-yard dumpster. What do you have for on site?
We don't have anything on site right now at the moment.
I didn't say you did right now, but when you construct and you start to handle
gonna
that,
have it.
will you have a dumpster? And that should be on the logistics plan, and it should be maintained on a daily basis so that neighbors aren't getting all the debris. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's easy.
That's it. I'm done.
Mr. Poirier?
This has been a group exercise. I think we've done a nice job here.
Can you see him patting himself?
He's got fancy glasses. I see you do that.
Okay.
Do you have anything, Mr. Chair?
No, I've listened very carefully to everybody. And now, if there's nothing further that anybody would like to add, either the petitioner or members of the public, we move on to this motion. A motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And now we move on to findings, and I'm going to suggest this finding. The board finds that the benefits of the proposed use outweigh its detrimental impacts on the town and the neighborhood in view of the particular characteristics of the site and of the proposal in relation to that site. That's the legal language for the issuance of special permits under the local bylaws. Do I hear a motion to accept that finding?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we move on to the decision. That a special permit may be granted under the following sections: 290-5-3.3, 290-5-2.2A, and 290-2-2.5D of the Town of Carver zoning bylaw. These are the bylaws that were referenced in the publication of this case, and the bylaws which apply to this particular project. Do I hear a motion to grant the special permit
So moved.
based upon the rebuild that you're seeking to do or have begun to do? Right? Mr. Poirier has stolen some of my thunder. He
Sorry.
says yes. He moves. And second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So your special permit is granted.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to attach to this decision a number of conditions. If these conditions are not complied with, I am certain that the building commissioner will hear about this. He's going to keep an eye on this, and I know neighbors will as well. First of all, that the petitioner will use a qualified civil engineer to draw a site plan that would address earth stabilization issues at the subject site, and the construction of a retaining wall if necessary for the purpose of erosion control. Now, I know you've already retained somebody, or you say you have, but this should be one of our conditions. Does everybody agree to that?
Yep.
All in favor? Actually, let me ask for,
We're going to do them individually?
yes, we are
Okay,
going to.
Okay.
So you want to make the
I'd like to move that, please.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So that civil engineer will have draw particular attention to erosion control so that neighboring properties are not going to be affected. This decision will also be conditioned upon the drawing of a logistics plan. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I know this will probably be included as part of the erosion control, but I think it's worth mentioning it as a separate and distinct condition. The construction of drainage trenches, one on each side of the subject property. Again, this will be part of the erosion control, but I want that mentioned specifically in the event that there's any confusion or decision made by somebody along the way that maybe that isn't necessary. So do I hear a motion that that this special permit is conditioned upon the construction of drainage trenches, one on each side?
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we have erosion control plan, we have a logistics plan, we have the drainage trenches. And I probably should have started with this. You're going to have to draw revised plans for the building commissioner with a wet stamp. You know what that is? Before construction begins. Before. Everybody agree on that?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's hear a motion on that.
So moved?
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So that should be the first condition, and I will make sure on the decision that it appears in the number one position. Next, hours of operation, 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. We're not going to do Sundays.
Okay.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, in view of the history of this case and the fact that this was planned as a reno but turned into something very different, and after hearing extensive testimony on this issue, the board moves that a penalty be assessed against the petitioner in the amount of $1,000 to be paid before construction recommences. Not to be paid after you move the machines back on the property. This is a precondition. What does everybody think about that?
Yes.
Ms. Dahl is writing furiously.
I am, yes.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So I think those were the,
Main.
I know there was talk about making sure there's a dumpster out there to clear
that'll be the
debris.
logistics plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else? The silt fences, that's part of the erosion control. But again, I want to emphasize that this board, and you've heard this now through 2 hearings, is disquieted by the behavior in this case. You pull a permit, you're required to comply with your construction within the 4 corners of that permit. And Mr. Palmer should not have to act as policeman here. Nor should neighbors have to be calling saying, hey, you know, I got serious erosion problems from this project that is now encroaching on my property. That should not have happened. So this project went way beyond the pale initially, way beyond. I'm not saying that it wasn't necessary, but you didn't go through the proper process or procedure. And now this house, this incomplete house out there, the new house, there's nothing happened on that property since October. That is 9 months ago now. So this $1,000 will be paid as a precondition to recommencing construction. Check will be made payable to the town of Carver, delivered to the planning department. Okay? Otherwise, this doesn't get off the ground. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes. That's good. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say?
No.
Silence is deafening. I want you both to understand as well that this board could have come down much more heavily. You know what the bylaw says, $300 a day. And it's been since October. It's a long time, folks. So we are taking, I think, a very conservative approach. This is a slap on the wrist, really. And I know this is a flip, that's fine, everybody's entitled to make money. And you'll make your money on this, minus 1,000. You don't think you're gonna make your money? He's shaking his head no.
No, not really.
You'll make money. You'll make money on this.
Money's already gone.
You will make money on this. Mr. Palmer knows you're gonna make money on this. So, those are the comments that the board chair is making after having listened very closely to everybody. And you know, this has been a vigorous discussion. I've tried to step back as much as possible and just kind of let them discuss with you what their concerns are and what their expectations are going forward. So I don't think there's going to be any question in anybody's mind up here that if this goes off the rails again, it's not going to end happily. So let's get this done. Let's get the house finished so the neighbors will be happy, so they don't have to live with this construction all around them. Don't leave dumpsters in the street, which is what some of them told us last time. You're shaking your head no, but apparently dumpsters were observed at some point either on the street or on the side of the street, which is narrow as it is.
Switch, yeah.
Just make sure that this is good, clean construction within the four corners of the special permit that Mr. Palmer is being directed to issue now through the action of this board. Mr. Palmer.
I understand.
I think the communication's the biggest thing. I mean, the lack of communication only escalated everything that we went through, that's all.
I just have a quick question as well. So all
And I'm
these-
concerned, not to interrupt you, but I am interrupting. I'm concerned that this situation festered since October of 2025. Now, there may have been good reasons for that. I think somebody alluded to the fact that there were personal issues that somebody was experiencing, you. I don't know, and I don't care to ask. But for whatever reason, there's a lot of time that's gone by. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunate for you, unfortunate for neighbors, unfortunate for this board now, which is being put in a position where it's going to try to make things right for everybody. So this is the concern that I had, that amount of time that went by before we could cross swords on this and get to a final decision. Just because a stop work order is issued doesn't mean that you can't immediately file new plans and then come back before us. We've had many meetings since October. Okay. Anyone?
Nope. All set.
Anything further?
I just have a quick question. So all these plans, do I give it to the planning department and the building commissioner, or just to the building commissioner?
I think to make things simple and more streamlined, bring all the information into my office. And
Absolutely.
then from there, I'll share it with the administrator for zoning.
Absolutely,
And
okay.
make sure that the plans that we approve tonight are
Get
the same
signed.
plans that are recorded.
Right.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that when you file your new plans, don't deviate from those plans unless you come and speak to the building commissioner again.
It's just gonna be the same.
Do
plan.
not deviate. If you run into more construction issues, you gotta hightail it back into his office.
Yeah.
Don't go solo. That's what got you in the problem in the first place.
And if you have trouble with getting into the back to do the excavation for the septic, like, you're gonna have to work together, or with Mr. Palmer, or just to make sure that it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's really tight
'Cause-
space and we're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know how
talk to
you're gonna
them.
get anything
Yeah, I'm
through
gonna
there.
talk to them.
So this is where being a good neighbor.
9-ton excavator should be fit there. I don't think they need more than 9-ton excavator to do the
Should
septic.
be.
Yeah.
Should be completely fine, so.
Okay.
And I will make these final remarks, and that is, we take no pleasure in assessing the penalty that we did tonight. It is unusual for us to do so, and it's only in the clearest of circumstances that we even think about doing something like this. We're not in the process of playing gotcha games and trying to raise money for the town. That's not what we're about. But we are, and I've heard this said before, we are the guardians at the gate. These are the bylaws that we are required to interpret and issue decisions about. And these bylaws do allow us the ability to assess penalties in the right situation. This is one of those situations. But again, we take no delight in doing this. I hope that you've both learned a lesson and that you will cooperate with the planning department and the building commissioner going forward. Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Palmer.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank
you.
All right. That copy that you gave me, Scott, so he has.
Have a good night.
Does anyone have any further subject or issue about which they'd like to be heard?
No.
No.
Nope.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, Carver.